factual and timely.
Indeed, many thanks for joining us right here at Lookuptv. It is exactly 9 p.m. East African time. My name is John Matava. We have a lot for you today in the bulletin, but first, have a look at the highlights making the bulletin.
Tukisha appeal amtabomolewa hii nyumba on 31st. Mimi nawaambia ukisha appeal unapata kitu inaitwa stay order.
Tonight, Njiru land belongs to my constituents, says Embakasi MP Babu Owino as he vows to take the Kawira land case to Supreme Court. 4 out of 27 ambassador nominees grilled by MPs as vetting begins. And government assures security of candidates as more than 3.5 million students are set to sit for their national examinations.
Welcome to the program, and of course our sign language interpreter is Felista Adundo, and join us up to the end of the bulletin. Meru Governor Kawira Mwangaza has been unanimously impeached by the Meru County Assembly after a second impeachment motion was tabled. All the 59 MCAs who were present in the House on Wednesday voted in support of the motion to remove Mwangaza from office.
A total of 59 MCAs, all of whom were at the County Assembly, voted in support of the impeachment motion. The 10-hour motion debated to eject the governor was brought by Majority Leader Evans Mawira. This is the second time the governor is impeached by the Meru Assembly after the first attempt last year failed at the Senate. Attempts by Governor Mwangaza's defense team to absolve her from the blame fell flat as the MCS went on to eject her from office. The impeachment comes after MCS on Monday completed mandatory public participation hearings in 9 sub-counties and retreated to write a final report that was tabled in the Assembly on Wednesday. MCS accused Mwangaza of committing 7 violations which formed grounds for her impeachment. In the first count, the MCS accused Mwangaza of misappropriation and misuse of county resources. They claimed the governor has been, among others, embezzling county funds using her relatives, including sisters, a brother and a nephew. The MCS also accused the Meru governor of
Embakasi East Member of Parliament Babu Owino has voted to take an appeal to the High Court of a ruling by the Environment and Land Court that declared the late Gershon Kirima as the legal owner of the 1,000-acre piece of land in Njiru that is under TASO. Babu also questioned how the late Kirima acquired the controversial land.
Occupants of the controversial 1,000-acre piece of land in Njiru are hopeful following a promise by Embakasi Member of Parliament Babu Owino to appeal against the decision by the High Court that directed them to surrender the piece of land to the late Gershon Kirima's family.
Mimi nataka tuanze na appeal. Iwe kotini, tukimaliza court of appeal. Na hii court of appeal, hii kesi, hii ya kwanza imechukua kama from 2014, miaka 9. Kama court of appeal pia inaweza chukua miaka 9. Alafu tuende Supreme Court pia chukue miaka 9. Tuwe na miaka 18 kwanza ya negotiation. Mimi nawaambia ukisha appeal unapata kitu inaitwa stay order.
The legislator further questioned how the late Gershon Kirima, who was the Member of Parliament for Starehe, acquired the property amidst negotiations with the family.
Kirima alikuwa MP wa Starehe. Si ni ukweli? Hiyo ni ukweli, si ukweli? Kirima alichukua over 1,000 acres ya land. Hiyo ni shamba ilinunuliwa ama ilikuwa grabbed? Tuanze tu hapa. Tukiweka appeal, familia ya Kirima wakikubali negotiation yenye tunaanza nayo, appeal inaendelea, negotiation ikiendelea. Kwa sababu wananchi wetu pia wanataka hiyo negotiation. Tutatumia hiyo route. Si ndio chairman? Sasa zile tuna negotiate, tutachukua leadership kutoka kwenyu, nyinyi ndio mtachagua kama ni za courts na viongozi wengine. Tutaweka baba yetu kwanza, Mheshimiwa Kados mbele, kwa sababu yeye ndio mzee. Mambo kama haya wazee ndio wanakaa mbele. Nikikuja hapa niliongea na yeye, anaenda kukutana na viongozi wengine on Sunday. Kwa hivyo ako na sisi kwa hili jambo. Yeye pia atatukalia mbele kulead these negotiations.
Besides negotiations, Babu Owino has also threatened to move to another court in which he intends to fight for what he terms as the rights of the people residing in the piece of land.
Tutaenda kotini kwa constitutional court. Manake binadamu lazima tritiwe na heshima. Binadamu hako na haki ya kukua na nyumba. Lazima kuwe na protection of human rights. So lazima tuende constitutional court, hiyo ni tofauti. Tupate orders zinaitwa conservatory orders ku prevent mambo ya demolition.
Cases of demolition have recently taken center stage in the country as the government seeks to crack the whip on land grabbers and illegal land owners. Njiru residents are optimistic that their appeal will change the course of their tide, but for now they live on borrowed time. Beatrice Kageha, Lookuptv.
Thank you so much, Beatrice Kagea, for that story. And now moving forward, the government has assured maximum safety of students as more than 3.5 million students across the country are expected to sit for their national examinations from October 30th to November 24th, this being the highest number yet. With more than 3.5 million students expected to sit for their national examinations this year, a total of 903,260 students will take the KCSE examination. 1,415,315 candidates will take the KCPE, and 1,282,574 candidates will sit for the Kenya Primary School Education Assessment. Tabling the examinations timetable in Parliament, the Ministry of Education has assured students of high security to ensure the accuracy of things during the examination period, which starts October 30th to November 24th.
To alert examiners, to alert candidates and the teachers and the parents that the exams will be done this year. The candidates, the timetable is on this table 1, and it has indicated that the exam for KPSEA is starting on 30th to 1st of November 2023. That is, Kenya Certificate of Primary Education, Kenya Primary School Education Assessment is done between 30th and 1st of November. 2, KCSE will run 30th October to 1st November. Yes, KCSE practicals and optional papers, they are starting on Thursday 19. They started on Thursday 19 October 2023. It will also run all the way.
While at it, all the managers appointed to take charge of the examinations have been implored to do their job with utmost honesty, while owners of private schools have been cautioned against involvement in exam malpractices.
For learners with special needs. The brief also provides a status update on the implementation of the competency-based curriculum, including and not limited to infrastructure, textbook distribution, and teachers in those particular schools. On examination preparedness, Madam Speaker, it is noted that the Ministry of Education, through the Kenya National Examination Council, NEC, is committed to delivering quality assessment in line with its mandate. To achieve this, regular reviews have been done to ensure that all the necessary prerequisite measures are in place so that...
John Matava, Lookuptv. The National Parliamentary Committee on Defence Issues and Foreign Relations has begun a vetting process on the 27 selected ambassadorial nominees. The nominees were tasked to give a clear plan of how they will serve the nation and strengthen ties with other nations. Stanley Lugaria has more details.
It is a list that consists of 27 nominees, and today the process of vetting them to establish their suitability to represent the country and hold the diplomatic relations of the country at par began. 4 of them walking through the corridors of Parliament to defend themselves and convince the Committee of the Department of Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations that they are indeed cut for the job.
So could those be, I'm told we didn't have a clear copy, so he has come with the originals. Oh, good. Yep.
Isaac Prashina, nominee Nigeria.
I believe that for the last 3 years, that has been one of my private assignments to understand what it entails in terms of international relations and diplomacy work.
Janet Mosasi Oben, nominee Kigali, Rwanda.
How would you ensure that you are protecting Kenya's interests in terms of coffee export from Kenya to Rwanda?
Peter Munyeri could be headed to India if his nomination is approved.
I'll use it in terms of identifying and knowing where all these monies and all these people they are sitting for purposes of then getting that become and transition to a benefit on this side of our country.
And finally, Jane Wairimu Ndurumo could be the face of Kenya in South Africa. The question of net worth took center stage, with Mwasasi and Munyeri declaring that they are worth 60 million and 300 million shillings respectively. The nominees were put to task to explain how they could represent the country, with their conduct putting some of them in the hot seat.
You seem to have developed a career out of vying for positions. Countries are arming themselves in readiness for a perceived conflict or war. East African communities is not left behind. I think you are going right inside this conflict. I just want to know how well you are equipped to, because as an ambassador you'll be at the center of conflict resolutions and what have you. And just in case if you know the 5 pillars of the foreign policy.
We already have the East African Nairobi-led process. I will, if given this opportunity, continue to entrench or participate in that East African-led process.
The National Assembly Departmental Committee on Foreign Affairs has officially kicked off the process of vetting the 27 appointees or nominees for the position of ambassadors and high commissioners across the world. Today being the opportunity for 4 to explain why they fit the positions. The committee has called on them to ensure and show that why they really fit for the positions. Stanley Lugaria, Lookuptv, the Central Business District, Nairobi. Thank you so much, Stanley, for that story. Moving forward, a law student has been charged for masquerading as an advocate of the High Court. The accused, Raf Edward Nzui, was arraigned before the senior principal magistrate, Gilbert Shikwe, denied 3 counts of presenting himself as an advocate of the High Court.
As the crackdown on fake advocates across the country continues, Edward Nzui is the latest suspect.
Investigate.
Appearing at the Milimani Law Courts, the prosecution told the court that on 24th February 2022, with intent to defraud, he forged a lease agreement purportedly signed by Arua and Change advocates. Further, the court was told that on 28th April 2023, the accused authored the lease agreement before Milimani Commercial Court, purporting it to be from Arua and Change advocates.
Should not even look at the possession of someone having been a law student. That does not, being a law student does not qualify you in any way in between before you are admitted as an advocate for you to appear. And the accused person has been masquerading as an advocate and taking fees out of these young advocates' hands.
The prosecution opposed the accused not being released on bond on grounds that he is flight risk due to the serious charges leveled against him. The matter will be mentioned on October 30th, 2023.
The concern is that if you grant bail, if there is likelihood that the accused person will jump bail, then we'll continue to have cases being raised by members of the public that one of our own members is stealing money from clients. And at the same time, even as part of my colleagues have raised the same, this is the bread and butter of the young advocates. We cannot allow and continue to have such scenarios happening in the legal profession. We raise issue, and as not only as interested parties, but we are part and parcel as victims. Because, my Lord, when these cases are reported, it is reported as a lawyer has taken money. It is not reported that a quack has taken money. And so as the Law Society regulating this area, it's very important for us to also be on record and to also raise issue and concern with regards to such.
Ivy Wangulu, Lookuptv.
And that story brings us to our first short break right here on Lookuptv. And of course, stay with us. We'll be back with more news for you.
Insight, factual and timely.
Infinity Industrial Park is one of the largest private industrial parks located along Eastern Bypass, Nairobi, which provides modern infrastructure for smooth operations for industries and business enterprises. Infinity Industrial Park offers world-class amenities and facilities with wide roads, a police station, a power substation, fire station, public transport stage, hospital, and shopping mall. In addition, Infinity Industrial Park also offers CCTV cameras, 24-hour private armed security patrol, sewer, water, fiber optic cable, and 3-phase power connection, added to public utility, canteen, and dining areas. Sail on the golden opportunity to invest in Infinity Industrial Park fully serviced warehouses at a special price of 3,569 Kenyan shillings per square foot. For more inquiries, visit our website infinityindustrialpark.com.
Introducing the Kenya Trade Fair Fusion Sales Drive event in the heart of Nairobi at the Kenya National Archives. It's not just an event, it's sales generation with a remarkable return on investment. Get ready to let your booth do the talking as you study new market trends with lots of entertainment featuring traditional live bands, DJs, and artists. For vendor registration, call 0724 715 334 or 0713 907 584 or 0723 861 173.
And timely.
Welcome back to the program, and of course, thank you for staying with us. A day after Chief Justice Martha Koome proposed a bill seeking to legalize prostitution in the country, saying prostitution will remain an offense, however not punishable through imprisonment, but through the use of alternative modes of handling petty offenses. Mevin Getembe went on the streets and she filed the following report.
Chief Justice Martha Koome proposed a bill that seeks to legalize prostitution, and today on Your Opinion Matters we are asking Kenyan, what is your take on the legalization of prostitution?
Na ukahaba, hata kwa Biblia imeandikwa ukahaba, hata kama Yesu alinini ule mwanamke, hapana, ukahaba ikubaliki. Hiyo kazi ni kazi, lakini mbona ufanye ukahaba na unaweza patiwa ile haki yako?
Kuna ukimwi imemaliza watu na ilikuwa ni sababu ya ukahaba. Ukimwi ikamaliza watu sana. Mambo ya ukahaba ukahalalishwa haiwezi kuwa mzuri Kenya. Inaweza zidi kuharibika.
Naona ikiwa sawa. Juu kama saa hii wakileta iuzwe hapa mimi nitanunua tu. Juu hiyo ni kazi. Kazi imekosa hapa Kenya. Kuna kazi, sasa wacha wafanye hiyo kazi. Lakini watusaidie na madawa ya kukinga, ikiwa hivyo anapewa ile madawa ya 24 hours. Mimi naona itakuwa sawa.
The moment amehalalisha hiyo kitu, hiyo ni kama anazidi kuharibu society. So sijapendelea hiyo kazi, lakini hata kama siwezi taka mtoto wangu afanye kazi kama hiyo. So mimi naweza penda ipigwe marufuku tu.
Si mbaya kwa sababu mtu anatafuta vile atakula na watoto. So hata ionekani kama mbaya saa hii. Imekuwa tu mtu atafuta vile atayataka. Naona tu ni sawa because sasa hakuna kazi Kenya saa hii. Hata hiyo ni sawa tu.
Well, those are some of the mixed reactions from Nairobi residents on Martha Koome's move to propose a bill that seeks to decriminalize prostitution, some of them opposing and others proposing. Mevin Getembe, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
The Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, KUPPET, now wants the government to provide training for teachers, especially those in high-risk areas such as Isiolo, by giving them firearms to enhance their security. Speaking in Isiolo during this year's annual conference, Secretary General Edward Obocha said that teachers cannot protect themselves with chalk when attackers are armed with deadly weapons, as this endangers their lives.
A call has been made by the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers to provide military training for teachers working in high-risk areas of the Meru constituency in Isiolo County by giving them firearms, especially during the national exams period, in order to enhance their security. Speaking in Isiolo during this year's annual conference, KUPPET officials led by Edward Obocha stated that teachers have been facing discrimination and threats from the Teachers Service Commission.
Teachers to stop protecting themselves using jokes. Wapewe guns. Mnakubaliana hiyo ama tuendelee kutumia joka? Si tupewe guns. Paramilitary training and guns. Yeah, because things are very bad. I've also seen Teacher Service Commission interdicting teachers because they have run away for safety from insecurity-prone areas.
Elsewhere, peace has been restored along the Kenya-Uganda border following several months of hostility related to cattle theft among the communities. This comes after leaders from West Pokot County, in collaboration with Ugandan leaders, united for celebratory talks aimed at promoting peace, with some herders who had migrated to Uganda in search of pasture have gradually returned home.
Hali ya salama tuko sawa, sio kama ile mbeleni. Tuko salama kabisa kwa sababu tulikaa chini na wazee tukazungumza mambo ya amani, ndio kukomesha mambo ya ukora.
Finally, following an attack by bandits on a GSU camp yesterday, residents, teachers and students have appealed to the government to intervene and enhance security in Baringo County.
Tuko na shida sana, tunaomba serikali mtusaidie kwa sababu tuko na shida, tunaelekea kufanya mtihani wetu wa kitaifa na majambazi wamekuja kuvamia shule yetu. Tunaomba serikali mtusaidie. Kindiki tunakutegemea sana. Tunaomba uje utuangalie usalama wetu.
Bridget Agola, Lookuptv.
Residents of a village in Kirinyaga County took matters into their own hands and stormed 5 homes, destroying illicit brews, saying that police took too much time to tackle the vice. Gal Aluda has more.
As the fight against substance abuse and illicit brew continues to gain pace in the Mount Kenya region, residents of Kiambu village in Kirinyaga on Wednesday morning matters into their own hands and stormed into 5 homesteads suspected to be illicit brew and drug dens in the area. The residents blame the illegal trade as a major factor in the rise of insecurity that has left locals living in utter fear.
Tumekusanyika hapa sababu tuko na hasira na tumekasirishwa na ile vitendo inaendelea katika hiki kijiji, sababu pande hii yangu ya right ni mboma moja tu ambayo inafanya biashara ya pombe na kuuza mihadarati. Na wakati moja assistant chief alitusaidia sana, tukafanya kikao hapa na tukaandress hii issue. Lakini baadaye pombe imezindi ikakuwa mingi na vitisho na hata wizi ikaendelea. Hapa watu wameimbiwa kuku mboma moja hapa 50 meters kuku 30 zikatolewa. Hii mboma 10 meters kila kitu kwa nyumba ikatolewa. Pale ngambo ile ingine gari ikaimbiwa. 200 meters pande ile probox zikaenda haijawahi patikana. Only because hii changana hii pombe na hii mihadarati.
Residents now say that they have resolved to take action after the government officials failed to eradicate the menace after even receiving numerous reports from the residents.
Kusema assistant chief amefanya kazi yake, lakini hatujaona usaidizi wowote wa askari. Mpaka wale mambrokolinda tulipewa pia na wao, tunasikia wengine wamekuwa na ATM kwa hii mboma, na sisi wananchi kazi yetu ni kutafuta mchana, usiku hatulali tunaimbiwa.
Mevin Getembe, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
And now to some sporting action. The renowned Kenyan boxer Fatuma Iron Fist Zarika will be making a comeback to defend our World Boxing Federation featherweight world title as she faces Fatuma Omari from Tanzania on Friday. The Betika-sponsored boxing series will also see the upcoming Kenyan boxer Albert Kimario will be the ring against Malawian Gray Kipchamwilo for the World Alliance Boxing Association Intercontinental. Recent coach Jafeth Munala has been reappointed as the Kenya's women volleyball team Malkia Strikers coach, taking over Paul Bitok's position, who was elected the Kenya Volleyball Federation deputy chairman. Munala will also work with Joseph Baraza and Paul Gitao as his assistants. His appointment comes days before the East African Community Games will be held from the 20th to 20th of November in Kigali, Rwanda. We beg your pardon now. Getting back, a renowned Kenyan boxer Fatuma Iron Fist Zarika will be making a comeback to defend a World Boxing Federation featherweight world title as she faces Fatuma Omari from Tanzania on Friday. The Betika-sponsored boxing series will also see the upcoming Kenyan boxer Albert Kimario, who will be the ring against Malawian Gray Kipchamwilo to the World Alliance Boxing Association Intercontinental Super Bantamweight belt.
Sasa akachukua WBF, kwa hiyo mimi na imani na yeye atatetea. Apart from kwamba amesema kuna tofauti ya mazoezi, lakini mimi najua amekuwa akifanya mazoezi vizuri. Kwa hiyo sisi tuna imani kama commission, kazi yetu ni kuona kabisa hakuna uonevu na hakuna kupendelea. Yule atakuwa pale ni yeye na Mungu wake, hawezi kuweza kuona atafanya namna gani.
And that brings us to the end of the bulletin. Many thanks for watching, and those that made this bulletin a success, we do say thank you. For more of these and other stories, you can follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, and on Next at Lookuptv. My name is John Matava. Please do have a very good night.
Factual and timely.
We value your feedback and welcome your complaints about our programming and operations. Feel free to get in touch with us through 0700 893 542 or send us an email to info@lookuptv.co.ke.